Hey everyone, I'm Gangsta Trader, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking about order block identification, right? So basically, order block in SMC or in Forex is a very crucial topic when we talk about Forex, right? Because order block is what we use, to identify entries in the market, identify potential opportunities in the market, right? And I'm going to be teaching us how to properly identify, a valid order block in the forex market. All right. So, as we can see, as you can see the image on the screen, I want to make something clear that one of the ways to identifying a valid order block is by looking at where liquidity was taken out from. So one of the requirements for identifying a valid order block is by identifying that liquidity has been taken out at this point. That is one, and also ensuring that there's proper imbalance available in that zone. So, but here we have price takes out to this previous high, right? So the next thing is for us to mark this zone as a what? As a an order block for our potential for a potential entry. We drag it from the bottom here, extend it to the top, and extend it, right? But now there's an issue because I said for we to be able to pick a valid order block, we have imbalance has to be present there. Imbalance has to be available there. But in this situation, there's no imbalance available. Why? If you observe in our previous lectures, I said imbalance involves three candlesticks. A, candle B, candle C, right? So there's no imbalance here in the sense that this movement has already mitigated this candle A already. Alright. So in a situation like this, we'll move to the next candlestick. Where is the next candlestick? Here, this is the next candlestick, right? Which is candle B. So we'll go all the way from the bottom, drag it up and extend it, right? These are order block. So in the future, we want to see pullbacks like this one. We want to see movement like this one. We want to see price moving too, because if you look here, there's imbalance here. I did something on our video on about imbalance. I said you select candle A, this is candle B automatically, right? Candle A, this is candle A, this is candle B, and this is candle C. So you drag from the bottom of candle A, you extend it all the way to the top of candle C. That's how to know if there is imbalance available there or not. So in the future, I want to see price move into this imbalance, feel it, and then continue its rally to the downside. This is the way it should be. This is a healthy movement in the market, right? So we move to the next candlestick and mark that as our what order block, in the hopes that price will move in here, and then we take our entry like this, put our um, order here, our stop loss here, and then tip in the next swing low or swing high, depending on the bias of the market at that point, right? So basically, right. So let's move to the next example here. We have this supposed pullback. I made a video about pullback identification. If many of you have seen that video, this video will be much more easier for you to understand how to properly identify a valid pullback. So I won't go into that in this video, so this video doesn't become long and unnecessary. Yeah. So we've identified our valid order block here, right? By moving to this candle B, right, and also identifying the imbalance here, right? This would be invalid if this candle high protrudes all the way to candle A like this. If this happens, then there won't be any imbalance available here. So we'll have to move to the next candle to find where imbalance is, so we can identify that point as our point of interest, or our order block where we can take potential entries for buys and for sales. Correct. Now there's a pullback here. If you look here, there's a pullback here. like this, right? But it's actually not a valid pullback. Why is that? Because if you look at this last candle before the up, like this last candle before this bullish momentum, you will see that the high, which is here, this is the high of this candle and this is the low of this candle. You can see that it is protecting this candle, right? We want to see, to consider this a valid pullback. We want to see this candle sweep liquidity, sweep the previous candle liquidity, sweep this previous liquidity. So we'll now identify this as a valid pullback, right? And if this happens, we want to mark this entire zone as our order block like this. Take from the bottom to the top and extend it like this, and then would mark it out in the hopes that price, when price wants to do form another pullback, price will retrace into it like this. Price will retrace into it like this before it continue its rally to the downside, correct? But nothing like that happened, so we can't consider that to be a valid order block, right? We can't consider this to be a valid order block. So let's take this out like this. So what do? We move to the next candlestick where liquidity has been taken out, right? Where there's liquidity, where liquidity has been taken out and where there's imbalance. So as you can see, there was nothing like that here, because if this now becomes our new A, B, C, it means that even this C candle protruded into candle A. So there's no imbalance here. And so therefore, unless there's a new candle that forms here like this, we can now, this is candle A, candle B, candle C, right? I said by identifying imbalance, there has to be an unhealthy movement, and you identify that by dragging the low of candle A, then extend it to candle what C, which is the third candle. So there's actually imbalance here, right? There's imbalance here. So we can equally just anticipate price to move into this zone, into this imbalance here, like this, feel it, and continue to the downside, right? But conversely, if we had price do this, move more further into this zone like this, then there's no imbalance here. So what we want to do is, by marking your order block for entry, you might want to mark this point here, move into our order block here, and continue to the downside, right? So we have this other example here. All right, so if you look here, we say we have the previous candle high, which is, this is the previous candle here, right? The previous candle high has been taken out, which means liquidity has been taken out. Now we have liquidity taken out, so we have A, B, and C candle. Now if you drag from the bottom of A candle and extend to the top of C candle, you see there is an imbalance available there. Now this is a valid order block. Why? Because we have liquidity taken out here, which is one, and then we have imbalance here. Definitely, in the future, price would always, when price breaks here, price would always find its way back, you know, and tap on this order block and continue to the downside, right? Okay, so we have the second pullback here, like this. If you observe here, this candlestick, this is a proper pullback first off, and it has taken out liquidity, right? It means that price went all the way here. For people that put their stop loss here on the lower time frame, price went here, took them out, taking out liquidity, and you can see this movement here, sharp movement all the way down. There's an imbalance here, so price has to fill it in by moving back into here to fill the orders in here, then continue to the downside. Very simple, very simple, right? So there's imbalance here, liquidity has been taken out here. This is how to identify a valid order block. See you guys in the next section.